Not every place in America represents the American dream. Many states are facing rising living costs, crime, natural disasters, unemployment, and financial pressure that are driving millions of people away each year. In today's video, we're taking a look at 7 states considered among the hardest places to live in the United States based on quality of life, economic conditions, safety, and how many residents are choosing to leave. 1. California. America's expensive dream. California has long been seen as the symbol of the American dream, home to Hollywood, famous beaches, and the largest economy in the United States. But by 2026, more and more people believe that dream has become too expensive to chase. In major cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, rent and housing prices have risen so much that even full-time workers with decent salaries struggle to afford a home. On top of that, residents also face high taxes, traffic congestion that lasts for hours every day, and a growing homelessness crisis across the streets. In recent years, massive wildfires have continued to hit the state, making many areas more dangerous while also driving insurance costs much higher. Because of the financial pressure and declining quality of life, millions of people have started leaving California in search of a more affordable and comfortable life in states like Texas, Arizona, and Florida. 2. New York, the city that never sleeps and never gets cheap. If California shocks people with its housing prices, New York is the place where financial pressure shows up almost every single day. It remains one of the world's biggest economic centers, attracting millions of people who come seeking job opportunities and chasing the dream of success. But by 2026, life in New York has become increasingly difficult for the middle class. Rent for a small apartment in Manhattan or Brooklyn can cost more than a mortgage payment on a house in many other U.S. states. And it's not just housing. Food, transportation, and everyday living expenses are also among the highest in the country. Beyond the financial pressure, many residents complain about high taxes, an extremely stressful lifestyle, and a subway system that has deteriorated after years of overcrowded use. Some neighborhoods have also seen rising crime rates, making people feel less safe than before. Because of these challenges, many middle-class families have left New York in recent years in search of a more stable and affordable life in other states. 3. Louisiana life under the shadow of hurricanes. Louisiana is one of the states most heavily affected by natural disasters in the United States. Major hurricanes and floods happen almost every year, leaving many communities living in constant anxiety and uncertainty. High humidity, harsh weather conditions, and aging infrastructure also make daily life more difficult for residents. In addition, Louisiana has a relatively high poverty rate compared to much of the country, forcing many families to struggle with everyday living expenses. After years of repeated storms, home insurance costs have risen sharply, while many areas still have not fully recovered from past disasters. Because of these ongoing challenges, many people feel it is difficult to build a stable long-term life in Louisiana. 4. Mississippi limited opportunities for long-term growth. Mississippi may be one of the most affordable states in America, but that low cost of living also comes with major limitations in quality of life. The state consistently ranks near the bottom in education, healthcare, and average income. In many areas, good job opportunities are limited, especially for young people trying to build a long-term career. Many students leave Mississippi after graduation to move to more developed states in hopes of finding higher salaries and a better living environment. In addition, many small towns are facing population decline, slow infrastructure development, and years of underinvestment. As a result, even though living costs are lower than in many other places, Mississippi is still considered one of the more difficult states for young people to build a stable future. 5. New Mexico. Beautiful deserts, but an unstable life. New Mexico is famous for its vast desert landscapes and the unique beauty of the American Southwest. However, behind that peaceful scenery are many problems that make life here far from easy. Some cities in the state have relatively high rates of theft and violent crime, causing many residents to worry about safety. In addition, New Mexico struggles economically, with lower average incomes and fewer job opportunities compared to larger states. Many areas also lack investment in infrastructure, from roads to public services. Because of these challenges, many people find it difficult to build a stable long-term life in New Mexico, despite its stunning natural scenery. 6. Alaska. Stunning nature, but an extremely harsh life. Alaska is known for its snow-covered mountains, massive glaciers, and breathtaking natural scenery. However, life there is much harder than many people imagine. Winters in Alaska are long and brutally cold, and some areas remain in near-total darkness for months, making it difficult for many residents to adapt both physically and mentally. Beyond the harsh weather, the cost of living is also very high because transporting goods across the state can be extremely challenging. Food, fuel, and everyday necessities are often far more expensive than in most parts of the United States. In addition, the feeling of isolation from the rest of the country causes many residents to leave after living there for some time. Although Alaska offers some of the most beautiful landscapes in America, not everyone can handle its demanding living conditions. 7. Illinois. Rising costs and growing safety concerns. Illinois, especially the city of Chicago, is facing major pressure related to finances and overall quality of life. For years, residents have complained about high property taxes, rising living costs, and the state's long-standing public debt problems. Beyond the economic pressure, safety concerns in certain urban areas have also made many people feel increasingly uneasy. Incidents involving theft, violence, and street crime in parts of Chicago frequently appear in the news, affecting residents' sense of security. Because of these challenges, many families and workers have started leaving Illinois in search of states with lower living costs and more stable environments, such as Texas, Tennessee, and Florida.